In this example, we asked to solve for 0 being smaller than theta and also theta being smaller than pi over 2. Well, the expression is 5 sine 3 theta minus 7 cosine 3 theta equals 0. Give each solution in radians to 3 significant figures. So this is for part I. So now for us to look at part I, we have 5 sine 3 theta minus 7 cosine 3 theta, and it's equated to 0. So for us to solve this expression, we divide the whole expression by cosine 3 theta. So that will give us 5 sine 3 theta over cosine 3 theta minus 7 cosine 3 theta over cosine 3 theta equal to 0, because if you divide it, it will be 0. So this cosine will disappear, and the sine over cosine, that will give us tan, and we can move the 7 to the other side, so that will give us 5 tan 3 theta equal 7. So now we can move this 5 to the other side, so that will give us terms of tan 3 theta equal 7 over 5. And now for us to find 3 theta, we find the tan inverse of 7 over 5, and that should give us the answer being the answer that we find we divide it by 3, so that will give us the answer of theta being 0.9505 for theta. And since the range is between 0 and also pi over 2, so that will tell us that we would have a scenario in this case where the angle will be 0.9505, and also we add a pi to it, and that will be another 0.9505, because a pi will add another pi over 2, so you can see that another 180 is added to it. Okay, so this will be the potential ranges. So in this scenario, for us to find the answers, we would have 3 theta will be 0.9505, and also pi plus 0.9505, which will give us in this scenario 3 theta will be 0.9505, and also 4.092 when we sub for pi. So for us to find theta in this scenario, it will be the values of 0.317, and also we will have another value of, so another value, it will be 1.36. So earlier I just corrected that with 3 theta being equivalent to 0.9505, and now when we find your theta, it will be 0.317 and also 1.36. Now for part B, we need to solve for 0 being smaller than x and x is being smaller than 360 degrees. So we have the expression of 9 cosine squared x plus 5 cosine x equal 3 sine squared x. So now for us to solve this expression, we move the 3 cosine 3 sine squared x to the other side, so that will help us with solving this expression. So in this scenario, if we move the 3 cosines, so that will divide everything, so that will give us 2. So you can see that the cosines dividing expression that will give us in this scenario we can sub for the 2 sine 3 sine squared x. We can sub into it using the trigonometric rule. That will be 3 minus 3 cosine squared x. So now for us to simplify the expression, we can rewrite this as 9 cosine squared x plus 5 cosine x equal 3 minus 3 cosine squared x. So we move this 3 cosine squared x to the other side, so that will give us, in this scenario, and we try to eliminate the terms that we have here in the middle, so that will give us 9 cosine squared, take away 3 cosine, so that will give us 6 cosine squared x plus 5 cosine x, and also we would have minus 3. So in this scenario we would also have, because it is we can take the in the scenario because it's 3, and actually because it's negative will be added instead of taken away, so that will give us a 12. So now we can complete the square, so that will give us 3 cosine x and also take away 1, and the second complete second bracket will be 4 cosine x plus 3 equal 0. So now we can equate each to 0, each bracket to 0. So for the first bracket we would have 3 cosine x equal 0, minus 1 equals 0. So that means 3 cosine x equal 1, and then we would have cosine x of a third. So that will give us, in this scenario, x being the inverse, cosine inverse of a third, and that will give us 70.53 in terms of degrees. Now for the second part, we have the second bracket, which is 4 cosine x plus 3 equal 0. So that will give us, in this scenario, 4 cosine x of minus 3, and then will give us cosine x of minus 3 over 4. That will give us x equal cosine inverse of minus 3 over 4, which will give us the angle of, in this scenario, 289.5 degrees. So you can see that we have the two angles in this scenario. So the way it would look, we would have an angle like this, so it would be the 70.5 degrees here, and also we would have another 70.5 degrees here in the negative. So this is the two angles that we would have for x. Now for us to find the pi plus 2, so that will be x will be 138, because we add the two 70s to each other. So we'd have 138.6 degrees, and we would also have 1360 apologies. So this is so for the angles of x here, that will be coming from x being 70.5. For the first x will be 70.5 degrees and 289.5 degrees. So this is the values for the first x. Now if we look at the second cosine, this will be, when we take the 3 over 4, that would give us 138 in this scenario 0.6 degrees. So now for us to find the second value of the cosine in this scenario, it will be x equal 138.6 degrees, and also the second angle will be 221.4 degrees. So this is the second, the two other angles that we have. So for us to plot this, this comes from 360 take away 138.6. So the way we plot this, we would have the angles like this, which is approximately 138.6, and another angle in this direction, which is again 138.6 degrees. And this will be the angles that we would have in degrees for the full expression, and this will be our answer.